Hey crypto YouTubers, this is coinpicker.us and today we're going to cover where we are with Bitcoin. All good news. What about, well, that's not the right one. What about LiteCoin? We're going to touch on that, and then Ethereum, and then we're going to talk about some ICO scams that I think are out there and some big moves happening in the altcoin market. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I have not been producing as many videos lately, largely because it would have been sort of repetitious. We were in a range bound, but we've bounced a bit. And as I'd mentioned over multiple videos, I suspected that April would be the time frame. It looks like at this point, that's the case where we've gotten our bounce. We bottomed around 64.48-ish, which was hard to find. On the Bitcoin, oh, let's get me out of there. Hard to find on that. And we're now up at 6,900, struggling to get over 7,000. I think that once we pass this weekend, which will take us through the 15th, we will begin to see more energy into the markets, and part of that energy is going to be institutional. Now, it's not going to happen at a dramatic point, I don't think, but we'll begin to see a building, and we're already seeing that. We're seeing a basing in Bitcoin. In terms of where we are today, we still have some potential upward momentum, but it looks like more of a trending. We've already had a pretty nice run up on a weekly basis on Bitcoin. This is where things begin to look much shinier. We've got an upward curve, which means in both EFI and CCI, which means we've got buyers beginning to take the reins. We've already spent weeks in the oversold region. So that's setting up for the move that I've been talking about. We could potentially go a little bit farther, but I am not anticipating the high probability move, the one to trade on, as I have said, and this isn't trading advice, this is just for my own, talking to myself, so to speak, is that we're going to move up from here somewhat aggressively until we get to that 1400 range-ish, which is what I've been talking about for a long time. Ideally, the ideal scenario would there would be an aggressive run up after the 15th. It may not go anywhere near the 14,000 range on that initial run up, but we would see a pretty good liftoff. 9,000, beyond 7,500 relatively quickly up to 8,000, maybe 9,000. That would be a great start to the move and totally tradable, totally profitable. As many of you may know, I like to see a minimum of 20-25% in my anticipated move, and this would qualify. Where I'm setting up here, this would qualify. Now, let's go look at LTC, where there's a lot of talk about LTC because of Alliant, the payment processor, who didn't broadcast they were going to do anything for the most part. They just did it. Unlike LitePay or LitePal or any of the other ones that blew a lot of hot air and did nothing. Alliant is also purported to have an agreement coming up with a very large, another form of payment processor. I think, and I don't want to be spreading false rumors, I have not researched this, okay? I think there's a possibility that Litecoin could eventually get that tie-in to a debit card because Alliant would be the link to it. I don't know that that's happening. All we're seeing in the charts, however, is what I've been talking about for a long time. I publicly sold out, sorry about that, bought in at 203, sold out at around 225, took my Litecoin cash that I'd gotten, so I made a nice trade, plenty of money, and I've been waiting for it to get to an entry point, and we're not too far. But it was a great trade because obviously I didn't lose basically half of what I had in Litecoin. So I'm getting ready to buy in, but it's not a rush. Litecoin does not look like, in my book, it's ready to blast off at all. It's at a moderate point, even with a downward, I would say a downward potential more than upward. So I'm not in any rush. I probably will be buying in shortly, though. Ethereum has made a nice move to the upside, which is not entirely unexpected considering it was on a downhill slide above and beyond the market. So it was underperforming. Now, there are moves being made in the Ethereum developer world that are bringing this about. Golem has been introduced, and we're going to have, that's not Ethereum project, but you get the idea. And we're going to have potentially Casper coming out, and that's what's creating some excitement. My opinion is that when that comes out, it's time to jump, and you get a big boost in Ethereum. It's time to jump. That's my opinion. I don't hold a lot of Ethereum right now. I have found better opportunities elsewhere. So in terms of day trading, Ethereum's probably a little bit on the overbought side. On the weekly side, it could have, on the weekly basis, it could definitely, oh, that's not exactly what I wanted to do. Sorry about that. It could definitely see, see potential upside, but it doesn't look like a rip-roaring upside. It looks like it will just recapture the center here, which, it's tradable, but it's not, in my opinion, a long-term best place for you to put your money. It is potentially tradable. Now, let's talk about some real scams. Fidelium. This is my opinion, okay? They are coming off saying, Fidelium, the team, that you're going to get a debit card once you get the app. A, you can't get the app. B, the debit card, if you look in the timeline, is nowhere near, gosh, I got to remember that Skype, is nowhere near happening. Nowhere near happening. So it's a well-developed website with not a whole lot going on beneath it. Synthesis Tech, which I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, is basically saying we're going to turn iron into gold. That's what the old apprentice scam was. And that's what they're talking about. I think these are two nearly laughable ICOs that are out there. Nearly laughable. And I'm almost impressed with how brazen they are. Now, is it possible that Fidelium breaks the mold and gets a debit card? It's possible, but don't pretend it's already happened, which is what they make it look like. I do not think they will get it at all. They're talking about 2019 fiat currency support in Japan. All they've done here is make money for ourselves, and finish making money for ourselves, and make more money for ourselves, and supposedly release the Fidelium mobile application release, which I have not seen. Fortress release in May. It hasn't happened. Maybe it will happen. But there's nothing unusual about an exchange. So in any case, I just wanted to point that out, that there are still ICOs out there that look so legitimate. And in my book, there's not a lot going on, and their promises are unlikely to be fulfilled, since the tech is in the same boat. And they're not doing a particularly good job on their website either. But I'll look into it more and confirm, and I just want to let you know. Now, let's take a look at some of the other projects that I think, the market is just looking fantastic. We're seeing outside performance of the majors. If we just go to this, EOS is on a roll, which as it deserves to be. It's getting close to release. Mixin, I have to investigate what's going on with that. Redcoin, I don't perceive a significant amount of long-term value. Same with Dogecoin. Walton Chain, on the other hand, I do. Walton Chain, if you've been following my videos, I think Walton Chain has a long way to go. Digibyte continues plugging away. Nucleus Vision has been something I've been talking about for a while. Ion, I don't see a tremendous amount of value in. Alf, Byton, not huge fans. 10x, I think time has come and gone for 10x. And Golem, of course, has made a big splash, but I think technically Golem will run into issues. Neblio, on the other hand, I think has got some significant upside potential. Ontology is not showing up here. 0x, Neo, all these are really positive. WAN Chain is kind of interesting. Next is just dead in the water. I don't know why that's even moving. Byteball, Icon. Icon is a really strong looking trade. Very strong looking trade. KuCoin is having some issues, by the way. And Bancor. So we're seeing a lot of green in the market. A lot of green and nice upside from projects that have shown consistent performance. If we go deeper, a little deeper here, you're going to see even more upside. Some of these are some newer ones, but other ones we've heard of. BitBay is, a longtime favorite of mine. And wow, am I glad I saw that when I did. POA Network has been making some significant moves. Digital Note, all these are relatively well known. Experience points. Yeah, that's also, well, it's kind of a scammy sort of price coin. I wouldn't go near it. Dent coin has been, one of those pumper coins basically. But the point of what I'm getting at is we're seeing broad-based positive moves beyond just what Bitcoin has done. So I had said earlier that I thought around April 64-ish, 65-ish hundred could have gone a little lower, was a bounce point, and we're beginning to see it. We haven't seen a significant enough, meaning a V-shaped bounce as opposed to a U-shaped accumulation, but it is definitely a liftoff. I'm expecting next week to be more exciting to the upside, and I'm beginning to position my readers. Now, I want to talk about something really quickly here that has been on the plate for a long time and is getting very close to finally happening. Thank you. I'm opening up my basic, and I had multiple memberships, and I realized, you know what? My main goal is to get people involved with crypto, get them comfortable with it, help people make profits in crypto and in other areas that are basically what I do. I'm just sharing what I do. I can't tell anyone or give any advice, but my basic and gold memberships are opening up, and these are per quarter. I think you'll find that the prices are very reasonable compared to what you're getting. And the goal is obviously A, to make you money, help you make money, show you ways, give you ideas, and B, almost as big, make sure you don't lose a truckload of money. If you're already in the market, one of the things that maybe I've developed a little bit of a reputation for is determining, hey, this is a great time to sell out. We're about to get a major down leg. I mean, I did it publicly for the total cryptocurrency market. It made me a little unpopular, but that's not my concern. My concern is to preserve capital and increase. Preserve is number one, increase is number two. So that's available for those of you who would like to sign up, but it's not, I just have to warn you that it's not fully working yet. So you can wait a week or whatever, but by Friday I'll probably have it all set up. I'm just building a bunch of indicators in for the premium side and a couple things on the basic side, and much more advanced commentary and much more advanced guidance, and of course the long-term and short-term trading opportunities for those of you who happen to be traders. And if you're not a trader and you're a hodler, I may not be the right service for you, because I'm going to, there will be times when I say time to get out, or hey, this is a really high probability trade, but I don't know that it's a long-term trade. I do that quite a bit. So I just want to let everybody know that. But this is coinpicker.us. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will catch up with everybody tomorrow.